I'm going to show you today how to overclock your RAM. You basically just want to hit delete until you get into your BIOS. And so when you get to your BIOS here, you want to go to, if it's an MSI for example, you want to find overclocking. And now you've got a whole bunch of settings here. So first you've got extreme memory profile, which will push your settings up to the maximum, so you can enable that if you want. So that activates DDR4 3200 megahertz. So in order to do that, you want to make sure that your RAM, this one doesn't do it, but the ones in my computer are rated for 3200. So that basically pushes the voltage going to the RAM up. The second thing is you can also change the frequency here manually, so you can go from 800 all the way up to 2400, and depending on the type of motherboard and processor you've got, you'll see different settings here. So this is a way to manually overclock. You can try different settings until you find the one that gives you the best performance without messing up your computer. And then, because what happens is, if your memory runs too fast for what it's designed for, it starts to create errors. It starts to either the memory can't respond to the request as fast as the computer is expecting it to, or it starts to make mistakes and you start to see file corruption. So if you start to see that, then you want to go back into your memory and lower the frequency. Now the other option is memory try it, so you can just pick different memory stages, and the computer will the BIOS will automatically start to overclock your RAM, stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3, until it figures out the best settings for you based on the type of RAM that you have installed, and then you don't have to think about it. So that's another option. And then we've also got advanced configuration, so you can't really change these settings, but these tell us the rate that your RAM is going to be running at. So RAM does different things. There's different commands to tell it how to access the data, and this tells us how fast each of those rates are. So this is RAM is basically like a giant database of ideas, and so we've got columns, and this is how long it takes to access a column, and this is how long it takes to read one of the rows. So we've also got memory banks, and then row address strobe timing, and then refresh cycle timing. So you don't really have to worry about these, but if you've decided not to overclock your RAM, then you can just exit from here. We'll press the X, and now you can just leave. Now you also overclock specific memories. So this tells us DIMM1. So this is, I can see the speed of each stick in my RAM. So this is DIMM1, and if you look in the other video, I explained where the DIMM1s and the DIMM2s are. So this is telling me the speed of each stick. So this is my newer stick and 2, and so these are, the cycle time is 0.938, and my old one, it's actually 0.833. So my old RAM was actually faster than my new one, which is kind of crazy, but their row frequency is about the same. So yeah, if you have any questions, please post a comment. Thank you.